What's up guys, John Bodie here, and today I want to be talking about why I switched from editing photos on my computer to now editing all my photos almost exclusively on the iPad Pro. So guys, I've been using the iPad Pro to edit almost all of my photos for like the last 6 months. I'm a full-time filmmaker and photographer based out of Hawaii, and I do a lot of weddings, I do a lot of social media work and on client work, and I've actually come up with a system to have all of the photos with me everywhere I go and edit everything just on my iPad and have it all synced to the cloud. And then when I need it, it's there, I can download it, I can tweak it. Let's say a client says, hey, we don't like this photo, could you like brighten it up and make it more colorful? Instead of being like, ah man, I gotta go home, go on my computer, click it, export it, upload it. Instead, if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you just whip out your phone, go in there, and it's there no matter where you are when you need it. The future is awesome, the future is portable, the future is mobile. So I really think you guys will like this workflow. Just stay tuned to the whole thing. It is kind of tedious, but if you're really into kind of changing your whole workflow and getting an iPad and just switching from the computer to the iPad, recently with iOS 13 update and the Lightroom CC update, you can do a lot of cool things right now. So yeah, guys, let's just get into it. Grab your iPad if you got one, if friends got one, go take his, come sit down with me and see if this works for you as professional photographers, Instagrammers. We're all switching to the iPad because it's dope. And you can get one on eBay for like 300. Let's go. All right guys, so just to clarify, we're gonna be using two programs. We're gonna be using Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Lightroom CC. I'm pretty sure you're all super familiar with them. If you edit photos, you're probably using these two programs. So first I want to talk about the import. The import is very important. We're only going to be using one catalog for all of our photo editing. So in order to keep that catalog not extremely slow, we don't want to put photos in our catalog that we're not going to use. So what I like to do is I like to use a program called Photo Mechanic, and in this I choose the selects. So today I'm going to be selecting from my recent trip to Kauai with my friend. I'm going to go through all these photos and I'm going to give them a 1 star and find the photos I want to import into Lightroom. You don't have to use Photo Mechanic, it is a paid program. You can also use Adobe Bridge, which is free, or you can just use Lightroom. It's a little more slow. I like this program just because it's super quick and I can literally just go through and put a 1 star on everything, and yeah, it's super quick. All right, so now that I found all the photos I want to import, I'm going to create a new folder, and it's going to be called Bodie Hawaii 2020. Okay, good enough. And now I'm going to drag these photos into that folder. So I only have a folder with the selected photos that I want. Now let's open Lightroom. So we want to open Lightroom and we want to import these photos into Lightroom. So now that I have these imported into Lightroom, I'm going to put them into a collection. So I'm going to go to a collection, and I like to keep everything organized with all my Instagram photo shoots. So I'll just go to Instagram, I'll create a new folder. You can just drag the folder in here, but you know, I like to do this one. So put in there and I'll just call it, 2020 Bodie Kauai. Okay, great. So I will take everything from here and then I'm going to put them into that folder. So now I have the photos in Lightroom and also in a collection. So now it's time to sync the collection, and to sync this collection to the Lightroom cloud, you just simply click this button right here, and now it is syncing to the cloud. If you don't have this enabled, I think when you open Lightroom, it should be somewhere around here, which will be like sync library. The thing is, you can only sync one library at a time, so you can't have multiple libraries and sync them to the same cloud. That's why everything is going to be stored in one catalog in Lightroom, and this can get kind of a headache because if you can put all your photos into Lightroom, but it gets kind of slow after a while if you don't keep everything nice and tidy. So remember to only import things into Lightroom that you're going to edit. Don't have any photos that you're not going to use. So make sure to select your photos before actually bringing them to Lightroom. This will save you trouble, headache. You do not want to have a slow Lightroom. It'll make you just want to break your computer, trust me. Okay, so now that everything is imported and synced, I can close out of Lightroom and get on the iPad. Let's go. All right, now if we go into Lightroom on the iPad, you will see that we have all of the synced photos here. So they are all synced to the cloud. So awesome, we've got all the photos in here. Now, what's super cool about the new update which happened is we can take these photos and we can store them locally on here, which only takes 36 megabytes because they are just downloading not the full files, but they are downloading the smart previews. So we're gonna download this. And that's super important because unless you have a really good internet connection, editing photos on your iPod can be kind of a drag because every photo it has to download the smart preview before you can edit it. I've been at coffee shops where I go to edit a photo and it's just right here loading and I'm not able to edit anything. Oh, also quick tip, when I imported this to Lightroom, I actually made sure to have a develop setting on it to where it put on one of my basic presets. So that way when I go in here, I don't have to apply the preset to all of them. So let's go and start editing some photos. Right here, I like to do auto and then kind of mess with things. So maybe get before 5 on there, get the horizon straight, you know, add some grain on it, you know. What's cool about iPad 2 is just the auto button. We usually don't use it, but that actually looks pretty good. Like, why not, right? Auto, sweet, auto. I don't know about like that. Almost. So yeah, I'm just gonna edit some of these photos and then catch up with you in a second. All right, so guys, I edited some of these photos just for fun. I'm gonna make sure I organize everything in this section. As you can tell, I have everything labeled as to what it is. And yeah, so this one, I'm going to move it to my Instagram folder and it will live there. And what's cool about having everything organized here is I can have, like, here's all the weddings I shot in 2019. I have them all on here and they don't take up any space at all. So I have all the selects. Remember, these are just the selects. I'm not putting all the photos on here. So yeah, here's some selects of a wedding I shot the other day. They're all on here, and these are just the ones I would use for Instagram and things like that. I'll go through a complete wedding or client workflow. Just to mention, my Instagram and fun workflow is different from my wedding workflow, just because with weddings, you want to make sure you keep everything and it's a little more detailed. If you want me to go through how I do all my wedding photos and how I create wedding albums, let me know, because I would love to share with you that insight. So yeah, everything's on here, they're all edited. Now let's export them. So what I like to do is you highlight it, let's highlight all of them. And what's cool now about the new version is you can choose all these different settings. So you can do full res, you can do largest dimensions, you can do small. You don't want to upload to Instagram in full quality or Facebook because it compresses it and it looks like shit. So what you want to do is kind of put it a small setting. So I put it at 1080 pixels and then 80%, and that generally works well for Instagram. All right, so now that these are all exported onto my camera roll, what I can do is I can select all of these. So I'm gonna just select all of them and I can airdrop them to my phone. Or if you wanna share them with friends, what I like to do is I like to go into Dropbox. I like to create a new folder, and in that folder I'll upload everything. And then after that, after everything's uploaded to Dropbox and airdropped to my phone, I like to go back in here and I like to delete everything. I always want to keep my camera roll empty. So I don't like clutter. I know when I start exporting a lot of photos, I get a lot of clutter. So to combat that, I make sure that there is nothing in my camera roll. So I edit them, I export them to camera roll, put them on my phone, and then if I want to share them with friends, I keep them in my Dropbox. Also, I like to keep everything on Dropbox because if I ever need it, I can just go back to it and it's all cataloged there. I do have a subscription to Dropbox, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so that is basically it. The photos are edited, the photos are exported, and boom, we're back. All right, so that's it, guys. I'm glad you made it through the whole video. I know it was kind of tedious, but I really just want to share with you how cool it is and how fun it is and how efficient it is to professionally edit all your photos on your iPad. It can be done, and I think in the future what we're going to see is a lot of stuff moving to these type of devices. I mean, it's so small to bring around, right? I mean, you literally can just throw this in your bag, go to a coffee shop, and have all of your photos that you've taken from the last year available in the cloud on your iPad. But yeah, I want to help you guys out. I'm starting my YouTube channel up again. I hope this was helpful. iPad Workflow 2020. We're going mobile. More to come. Follow me on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be dropping videos, dropping knowledge, making you better. When I watch this from a year from now, I'm going to be upset. Peace.